Behind every legendary fashion brand is a story of struggle, ambition, betrayal, and survival. But few are as dramatic, suspense-filled, and inspiring as that of Chanel. From an orphan girl who stitched her way into Parisian high society, to a brand that almost crumbled after her death, only to rise again as one of the most powerful names in luxury. This is the captivating story of Chanel. Love stories like this? Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next chapter in the world of fashion's greatest legacies. The streets of Saumur, France, smelled of leather and horse sweat. It was 1883, and Gabrielle Chanel was born into a world that offered her little. Her father was a traveling peddler, her mother a laundress. When Gabrielle was just 12, her mother died of tuberculosis. Her father, unable or unwilling to care for his children, abandoned them. Gabrielle was sent to an orphanage run by nuns. Life there was strict, black and white habits, cold stone floors, silence in the halls. But it was also where she learned to sew. Needle and thread became her escape, her tool for shaping something new from scraps. By her late teens, Gabrielle worked as a seamstress by day and sang in cafes by night. Her favorite song was Que tu es vu Coco, about a little dog lost in the street. Customers teased her with the nickname Coco, and though she hated it at first, she eventually wore it like armor. Coco had nothing, no wealth, no family, no name to inherit. But what she had was vision. She looked at the world of women's fashion, corsets, layers of lace, suffocating gowns, and she saw not elegance, but prisons. In 1910, with the financial help of a wealthy lover, Coco opened her first millinery shop in Paris. She sold hats, simple, stripped of feathers and fluff. Her designs shocked people. They looked bare, but that was the point. Coco wanted women to feel free, not decorated like carnival birds. Actresses began wearing her hats. Socialites followed. Soon, the name Chanel was whispered in drawing rooms, not as a curiosity, but as a revolution. And Coco wasn't done yet. She introduced jersey fabric into women's fashion, material previously reserved for men's underwear. She created dresses with straight lines, relaxed fits, and no corsets. Her designs didn't just change how women looked, they changed how women lived. For the first time, clothes allowed women to walk, run, and breathe without pain. By the 1920s, Chanel was a designer of the modern woman, bold, elegant, and free. But the moment that sealed her place in history came in 1921. Partnering with perfumer Ernest Bose, she launched Chanel No. 5. Unlike other perfumes made of single floral notes, No. 5 was complex, mysterious, impossible to pin down. Coco wanted it that way. A woman should smell like a woman, not a rose or lily. Something indefinable. Chanel No. 5 became an icon. It wasn't just a fragrance. It was independence bottled in glass. Marilyn Monroe would later say she wore nothing bad but 5 drops of Chanel No. 5. The world was intoxicated. From poverty to orphanage to Parisian salons, Coco had stitched her destiny from nothing. She had risen. She had conquered. But shadows were gathering, and they would threaten everything she built. The 1930s brought wealth and glamour to Chanel. She employed thousands of workers. Aristocrats and Hollywood stars wore her designs. She was a queen of fashion, untouchable. Then came World War II, when Nazi Germany invaded France in 1940. Paris fell under occupation. Fashion houses shuttered. Chanel closed her doors too, claiming war was no time for fashion. But that wasn't the full story. In whispers and gossip, a darker truth spread. Coco Chanel had taken a lover, a German officer named Hans Gunther von Dinklage. Their relationship allowed her to remain in luxury at the Ritz Hotel while much of Paris starved. Some accuse her of collaboration. It was during this time that Coco also attempted something ruthless. She sought to use Nazi laws to regain full control of Chanel No. 5. The perfume had been developed with the Wertheimer brothers, Jewish businessmen who held majority ownership. With anti-Jewish laws in place, Coco saw an opportunity to seize their share. But the Wertheimers were clever. Before fleeing France, they transferred their ownership to a Christian friend, protecting their stake. Coco's attempt failed, and her reputation darkened. When the war ended in 1945, France turned on collaborators. Many women accused of sleeping with German soldiers were publicly humiliated, their heads shaved in the streets. Coco Chanel, however, was never tried. Why? Rumors claimed she had powerful friends. Some even whispered that Winston Churchill himself intervened to save her. Regardless, Paris wanted nothing to do with her. Her name was tainted. For years, she vanished into exile in Switzerland. Fashion moved on without her. Christian Dior's new look, with its cinched waist and full skirts, dominated the post-war scene. It seemed Chanel was finished, a relic of another era. But Coco Chanel was not the kind of woman to fade quietly. In 1954, Coco Chanel was 71 years old, wrinkled, gray-haired, dismissed as outdated. For over a decade, Dior and Balenciaga had defined fashion. The world had forgotten her. And yet, Coco returned. Against all advice, she reopened her fashion house. She unveiled her comeback collection, and at first, it was mocked. French critics sneered. Out of touch, they said, a ghost from the past. But across the Atlantic, American women saw something different. They were working, living faster, craving freedom again. Dior's gowns, beautiful as they were, felt suffocating. Chanel's design, straight-cut suits, clean-lined, comfortable elegance, spoke to a new generation. The piece that defined her return was a Chanel suit, a collarless jacket and slim skirt, often made of tweed, paired with pearls. It was powerful yet feminine, practical yet luxurious. Women like Jackie Kennedy wore it. And suddenly, Chanel was not just back. She was a new uniform of power. Coco had done the impossible. At an age when most were tired, she reinvented herself. She turned scandal into survival, exile into resurrection. She proved that true elegance never dies. It adapts. In 1971, Coco Chanel passed away in her suite at the Ritz Hotel in Paris, where she had lived for over 30 years. Her final words as she prepared for bed were said to her maid, "You see, this is how you die." She left behind an empire, a fashion house that would later be carried by Karl Lagerfeld, who modernized it for the late 20th century. Today, under Virginie Viard, Chanel remains one of the most powerful luxury brands in the world. But more than that, she left behind a philosophy. She had risen from poverty and abandonment, clawed her way through scandal and betrayal, and stitched a new future with needle, thread, and relentless defiance. Even now, every bottle of Chanel No. 5, every quilted handbag, every suit carries her ghost, a reminder that fashion is not just fabric. It is rebellion. It is survival. It is identity. And somewhere in the timeless elegance of a black dress or the lingering scent of No. 5, one can still hear Coco's voice. Fashion fades. Only style remains the same. Love stories like this? Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next chapter in the world of fashion's greatest legacies.